Hello, knowledge seekers. In this episode of 20-Minute Books, we dive into Conscious by Annaka Harris, a thought-provoking exploration of consciousness, a puzzle that has intrigued philosophers, scientists, and mystics for centuries. Published in 2019, Conscious grapples with defining what consciousness is and investigates its prevalence across the universe. It encourages us to ponder deeply about our own awareness and the essence of sentient existence. Annaka Harris, the author of Conscious, is renowned for her insightful contributions to the New York Times and her role as a consultant for science writers. She has also co-created the Mindful Games activity cards and penned the children's book, I Wonder. As the partner of well-known podcast host and neuroscientist Sam Harris, she brings a unique perspective, seamlessly blending scientific inquiry with profound philosophical questions. This book is perfect for anyone intrigued by the mysteries of life, including students of philosophy and biology, as well as those fascinated by the complexities of the human brain. Join us as we uncover the nuances of Annaka Harris's Conscious, a must-read for those curious about the fundamental aspects of existence and the universe's conscious inhabitants. Conscious, a brief guide to the fundamental mystery of the mind. Introduction. Unlock the enigma of consciousness, beyond human perception. Diving into the depths of consciousness often conjures images of self-reflection, intricate thoughts, and the quintessence of being human. However, this notion barely scratches the surface of the vast ocean that consciousness entails. At the heart of our exploration are two pivotal questions. Is there tangible evidence of human consciousness in the external world? And how pivotal is consciousness in the tapestry of human behavior? Through a series of logical deductions, we embark on a journey that promises revelations and insights that may challenge our preconceived notions. Our odyssey doesn't just orbit around human consciousness, but also ventures into the cosmic expanse to contemplate its prevalence in the universe. The question arises, if beings other than humans don't engage in complex thought as we know it, does it insinuate they don't experience anything at all? In this narrative, we navigate through the silent but profound communication network of trees, unravel the mysteries of LSD and its impact on consciousness, and delve into the phenomena that unfold when the human brain experiences division. These avenues not only illuminate aspects of consciousness, but also challenge us to rethink its very essence and the interconnected fabric of existence. Part 1. Exploring the depths of consciousness, unraveling experience and intuition. Have you ever paused to ponder the essence of consciousness, or what it truly means to be conscious? Despite its pivotal role in defining our existence, consciousness remains shrouded in mystery, largely because our perceptions of it are as varied as they are complex. Embarking on a voyage to demystify consciousness requires an initial step back, to distinguish what it is not before we can understand what it is. But to navigate these waters successfully, it's imperative we first establish a common language or a basic understanding of our subject. Let's draw from the wisdom of the revered philosopher Thomas Nagel, who, in 1974, elegantly proposed a criterion for consciousness. An organism is conscious if there is something that it is like to be that organism. In essence, being conscious means having experiences. Picturing this, it's conceivable that you, engulfed in your current experiences, sight, sound, touch, exemplify a conscious being. Conversely, the chair you might be seated upon, presumably devoid of experience, represents an entity without consciousness. This framework steadies our lens as we delve into various phenomena commonly intertwined with experience, scrutinizing their relevance to consciousness. Nonetheless, steering this exploration is our intuition, the often inexplicable guide through the nebulous territory of consciousness. Intuition, that innate compass, commands our attention not through loud clarions but through the subtlest of nudges. alerting us to harmony or discord in our surroundings without explicit reasoning. It's what might cause an uneasy stir as a stranger steps onto the subway, perhaps triggered by barely perceptible cues, signaling potential menace. Yet, intuition's whispers can sometimes lead us astray. History and everyday experiences are rife with instances where intuition suggested one reality, only for logic and evidence to unveil another. The once unchallenged flatness of the earth, and the misleading fear some harbor for air travel over the statistically safer car journeys underscore the limits of intuitive guidance. As we venture further into the labyrinth of consciousness, let's lean on our intuition, but also brace for surprises. Keeping our minds open, we might just uncover layers of consciousness that defy our initial assumptions, inviting a broader understanding of this profound aspect of our existence. Part 2. Challenging human-centric views of consciousness through nature's wonders. When pondering over consciousness, it's not uncommon to anchor this profound concept tightly around human experience, the only version of consciousness we intimately know. This human-centric viewpoint might even tempt us to think that consciousness is a realm exclusive to behaviors and attributes resembling our own. Yet a closer inspection of the world around us, especially within the realms of nature less explored, reveals that our behaviors and so-called unique traits might not be as exclusive as we've believed. Take, for instance, the fascinating discoveries in the plant kingdom. Groundbreaking research into the behaviors of Douglas fir and paper birch trees unveils an underground world bustling with the exchange of nutrients through a complex network dubbed the mycorrhizal network. Ecologist Suzanne Simard's work illuminated this intricate ecosystem where trees perform altruistic acts, such as sending nutrients to neighboring trees in distress, and even recognizing and nurturing their offspring to weather environmental challenges. The plant world embodies awareness and sensitivity at levels previously underestimated. Some plant species deploy toxins to ward off competing flora, while explorative species like the ivy navigate their surroundings to find suitable anchorage for growth. This sense of awareness underscores an interaction with their environment that mirrors, in essence, behaviors we associate with higher organisms. Memory, too, manifests in the plant domain as exhibited by the Venus flytrap's method of entrapping prey, a process reliant on the recollection of the initial stimulus to trigger its iconic predatory response. As we unravel these parallels between plant life and human behavior, we encounter a striking revelation. The very building blocks of life, our genes, share common sequences with plants that influence reactions to light and darkness. This shared genetic heritage suggests that our distinction from the plant world might not be as profound as once thought. This realization propels us toward two potentially transformative hypotheses. Either plants possess a semblance of experience and thereby a form of consciousness, or alternatively, attributes we've long associated with consciousness, memory, sensitivity, and reciprocity, are unrelated to conscious experience. As we continue to explore the attributes often linked with human consciousness, we're invited to reconsider and perhaps detach these characteristics from the concept of consciousness itself. This journey not only enriches our understanding, but also challenges us to rethink our place within the tapestry of life. Part 3. Unveiling the Illusion. How Consciousness Observes rather than decides. Diving into the intricate dance of human behavior, we find a rhythm driven predominantly by an automatic cause and effect. Our reactions, more often than not, are not the deliberations of a conscious mind, but the instinctive responses of a complex biological system. This realization challenges the traditional belief that consciousness is at the helm of our decisions and thoughts. This detachment between consciousness and our sensory experiences owes much to the timing of sensory information processing in the brain. Our senses, sight, sound, smell, and touch, navigate through a cerebral concatenation before their collective experience registers in our consciousness. By the time our conscious mind is privy to what's happening, the reactions have often already been set in motion. Picture consciousness as the final receiver of news, trailing behind the unfolding events. Delving deeper into the dynamics of perception and reaction, extensive studies have illuminated a curious aspect of human behavior. Much of what we do seems preordained by brain programming rather than conscious decision-making. This could liken the human brain to the operational core of a driverless car, absorbing environmental data, processing this influx of information, and responding accordingly. Here, consciousness merely assumes a bystander role, integrating these autonomous decisions into the seamless narrative of our lives. It suggests a scenario where the brain is the true navigator of our actions, with consciousness merely tagging along, a silent observer to the brain's intricacies. Complex thought, another facet often linked to consciousness, also unravels under scrutiny, revealing a separation between the two. Take, for instance, a spontaneous thought about a long-forgotten friend from your past. This sudden memory surfacing in your mind's eye isn't summoned by a deliberate act of will, but seems to emerge from the depths of your cognitive processes. Our thoughts, swirling in the stream of consciousness, appear unbidden, shaped by a blend of genetics, instinct, and learned experiences rather than the conscious self. While we can exert some measure of control, planning future actions and setting intentions, the immediate moment-to-moment decisions we face are less a product of conscious direction and more the output of our brain's inherent programming. This revelation invites us to reconsider the role of consciousness in human behavior. Perhaps, rather than being the craftsman of our decisions and thoughts, consciousness is more accurately described as the lens through which we witness the unfolding tapestry of actions and reactions predetermined by the complex coding of our brains. Part 4. The illusory self, consciousness beyond individual identity. Among the myriad mysteries the brain harbors, it crafts illusions, cloaking the complexity of its processes with seamless narratives. Two notable illusions that punctuate our daily existence include the belief in the immediacy and agency of our conscious decisions, and the conviction that sensory information arrives in unison, a symphony of synchronized perceptions. Yet, reality unfolds differently. Our senses, each on its own temporal journey, converge in the brain not simultaneously but sequentially, crafting a unified experience from this staggered input. Disjunctive agnosia stands as a testament to this asynchrony, a condition where sufferers live untethered from the usual harmony of sight and sound, navigating a disjointed sensory world. Another cornerstone of the brain's illusory prowess is our sense of self, the ingrained belief that anchors our experiences and perceptions to a central, indivisible identity. This self is perceived as a distinct observer, separate from the world it perceives, a narrative center of gravity that holds our personal universe together. However, this sense of a cohesive self starts to blur under certain conditions. Psychedelic experiences induced by substances like LSD can dissolve the boundaries of self, immersing individuals in a profound connectedness with the surroundings, upending the usual separateness that characterizes normal perception. Similarly, meditation can shift the perceptual ground, uncoupling the sense of self from the broader experience of consciousness. Practitioners often report a dissolution of self, a feeling of unity with the environment that transcends the ordinary partition between the observer and the observed. These states underscore a crucial insight. The sense of self is malleable, contingent on the brain's interpretive mechanisms. When these mechanisms shift, whether through pharmacological means or meditative practices, so too does the perception of self, sometimes fading entirely, even as consciousness itself persists unblemished. This decoupling of self from consciousness illuminates a pivotal truth. Our sense of individual identity, much like the ancient belief in a flat earth, is not an incontrovertible fact, but an interpretation, a mental model assembled by the brain to navigate the existential complexities of life. As our understanding deepens and expands, we're invited to reconsider the nature of self and consciousness, to see them not as indivisible, but as distinct aspects of our humanity, capable of existing one without the other. In this light, the concept of self emerges not as the core of consciousness, but as one of its many layers, a narrative constructed not from the fabric of reality, but from the brain's intricate dance with perception. Part 5. Embracing the Universal Mind, Panpsychism's Bold Vision. Upon unraveling the intricate tapestry of consciousness and discovering its seemingly elusive nature, a pivotal question arises. If traditional markers of consciousness do not exclusively apply to humans, could it be that consciousness extends beyond humankind? Venturing even further into the realm of speculative thought, we encounter an intriguing and radical proposition. What if all matter possesses a form of consciousness? Panpsychism, the theory that postulates consciousness as a fundamental attribute of all matter, might sound like a leap into the realm of science fiction at first glance. Yet, this perspective is not only grounded in scientific plausibility, but resonates with the foundational principles of biology and physics. The meticulous study of the elemental composition of the human body and its elements reveals a profound truth. We are composed of the same basic ingredients found throughout the cosmos, from the flora that grace our planet to the distant celestial bodies that ornament the night sky. It then follows, from a scientific standpoint, that consciousness could not arbitrarily manifest in some entities while eluding others without contradicting the principle of radical emergence, a concept met with skepticism in scientific circles due to its propensity to generate more questions than answers. Panpsychism offers a more streamlined explanation, one that aligns neatly with the desire for simplicity and coherence in scientific inquiry. Its roots are deep, with notable biologists like J.B.S. Haldane and Bernhard Rensch acknowledging its considerable merit as early as the 1930s. Philosopher Galen Strawson provides additional intellectual scaffolding for panpsychism by highlighting its harmonious relationship with physics. He articulates that all physical phenomena are manifestations of energy, according to the laws of physics, and panpsychism simply extends this understanding by suggesting that experience is an inherent aspect of this energy. Critics of panpsychism often misconstrue its message, assuming it anthropomorphizes inanimate objects, imparting human-like consciousness onto entities as inert as rocks. However, this interpretation misses the essence of panpsychism, which is not to equate the consciousness of a rock with that of a human, but to acknowledge the vast spectrum of consciousness, with myriad expressions that might elude human comprehension. Imagine, if you will, a form of existence, aware only of the stark contrasts between light and darkness, or warmth and cold, a consciousness devoid of thought, but attuned to the raw sensations of its environment. This speculative exercise nudges us closer to grasping the concept of a minimal, yet unequivocal form of consciousness, laying the groundwork for a more inclusive understanding of this fundamental aspect of reality. Panpsychism invites us to consider a universe imbued with a pervasive consciousness, challenging our preconceptions and expanding our intellectual horizons toward a more holistic comprehension of existence. Part 6. Rethinking Consciousness. Insights from Panpsychism and Split Brain Studies. Panpsychism's proposal that consciousness permeates all matter challenges deeply held convictions about our world and our place within it. For many, accepting that inanimate objects or individual organs within our own bodies could possess a form of consciousness necessitates a paradigm shift. Yet, history has shown time and again that intuition, while a powerful guide, is not infallible. The resistance to panpsychism often hinges on scenarios that defy conventional understanding, such as the idea of organs like kidneys or livers possessing an autonomous consciousness. However, compelling scientific inquiries into human consciousness, particularly through split-brain studies, offer a tantalizing glimpse into the complex and multifaceted nature of conscious experience. Since the 1960s, neuroscientists have studied patients who have undergone corpus callosotomy, a surgical procedure intended to alleviate severe seizures by severing the corpus callosum, the neural bridge facilitating communication between the brain's hemispheres. These studies have unearthed profound insights into the workings of consciousness. Despite the drastic severance of their brain's hemispheres, patients generally maintained their cognitive and emotional faculties, albeit with notable quirks. The division of the brain resulted in dual streams of perception and experience within a single body, effectively demonstrating that the brain could host multiple centers of consciousness. Consider the peculiarities observed in these split-brain patients. If an object, such as a key, was placed in a patient's left hand, linked to the right hemisphere, without visual confirmation, the individual, when asked to name the object, would profess to hold nothing. This phenomenon occurs because the right hemisphere, while able to process sensory information, lacks the capability to articulate thoughts verbally, a function governed by the left hemisphere. These observations from split-brain research challenge conventional notions about the unity of consciousness, suggesting instead that consciousness is not only divisible but remarkably adaptable. The implications extend beyond the quirks of split-brain phenomena, hinting at a broader landscape where consciousness, as we perceive it, might emerge from the integration of simpler, constituent forms of awareness. While the journey to unravel the enigmatic nature of consciousness is far from complete, these investigations inspire us to push the boundaries of our understanding. The quest for the elementary particle of consciousness, akin to the discovery of the Higgs boson in particle physics, remains an open horizon. It beckons us to continue probing, questioning, and imagining the myriad ways in which consciousness might manifest throughout the cosmos, hinting at a universe far more intricately bound by the threads of awareness than previously thought. Final summary. Navigating the enigmatic waters of consciousness, we've ventured deep into the essence of what it means to be conscious, to be immersed in an ongoing experience. Though the phenomenon of consciousness is intimately tied to the human condition, our exploration has led us to question the exclusivity of this connection. As we've delved deeper, the boundaries traditionally drawn around human thoughts and behaviors as markers of consciousness have begun to blur, prompting a re-evaluation of our understanding. Our journey unveiled that the traits we often associate with consciousness, complex thought, memory, sensory perception, are not confined to the realms of humanity. From the communicative networks of trees to the split-brain phenomena, we've seen how consciousness might manifest beyond our conventional parameters, challenging our anthropocentric views. The intriguing hypothesis of panpsychism has emerged as a pivotal consideration in this exploration, proposing that consciousness could be a fundamental aspect of all matter. This radical perspective not only broadens the scope of consciousness beyond the human experience, but also aligns with the principles of physics and biology, suggesting a universe imbued with an elemental form of awareness. As we conclude this odyssey, it becomes clear that the mystery of consciousness invites us into a continuous dialogue, an invitation to reimagine our place in the cosmos. The journey towards understanding consciousness is far from complete, but each step forward enriches our grasp of this profound aspect of existence, beckoning us to look beyond the surface and contemplate the vast tapestry of awareness that may permeate every corner of the universe. Thank you for joining me today on this journey of learning and discovery as we explored the insights of another thought-provoking book in our growing library of knowledge. If you've enjoyed our time together, please take a moment to follow our podcast, give us a 5-star rating, and share 20-minute books with other knowledge seekers. Your support truly means a lot. Don't forget to join me again in the next episode, where we will delve into another enriching book. Until then, happy reading and happy listening.